If you would like a free newsletter on this or other subjects, just give us a call at Christian Answers. The phone number is area code 512-218-8022. That's 512-218-8022. Or you could email us at cdebater@aol.com. That's cdebater@aol.com.
For more on open theism, see our video, Unpopular Bible Doctrines number 15, The Immutability of God, that's unchangeableness, versus open theism heresies, on YouTube. Question: what is open theism? Gregory Boyd, author of the Hank Hanegraaff endorsed book, Oneness Pentecostals and the Trinity, published in 1992, Boyd also published another book called Trinity and Process that same year, is an open theist. Boyd was a professor of theology at Bethel University for 16 years before he resigned after there was a dispute between himself and some of the professors there over his open theism advocacy. Craig Boyd now teaches at Bethel University on an adjunct basis. Boyd is also known as one of the leading supporters of open theism, which he explores in the book, God of the Possible, published in 2000. In essence, open theism is the view that the future is partly open and therefore known to God partly as a realm of possibilities. Boyd was raised a Roman Catholic, later became an atheist, then converted to Oneness Pentecostalism, and then evolved into an open theist. Jesus said, "You will know them by their fruits." Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. Answer: open theism, also known as openness theology, the openness of God, and free will theism, is an attempt to explain the foreknowledge of God in relationship to the free will of man, thus attempting to give fallen, sinful man a way to overcome the sovereignty of God in determining the future. The argument of open theism is essentially this: human beings are truly free. If God absolutely knew the future, human beings could not truly be free. Therefore, God does not know absolutely everything about the future. Open theism holds that the future is not knowable. Therefore, God knows everything that can be known, but he does not know the future. The Wikipedia entry for open theism states, quote, "While this argument has historically been used by some open theists, currently most open theists affirm that God knows the future perfectly, but simply deny God believes the future is fixed," end quote. Open theism bases these beliefs on scripture passages which describe God changing his mind, or being surprised, or seeming to gain knowledge. That's found in Genesis 6:6, Genesis 22:12, Exodus chapter 32, verse 14, Jonah 3:10. In light of the many other scriptures that declare God's knowledge of the future, these scriptures should be understood as God describing himself in ways that we can understand. God knows what our actions and decisions will be, but he changes his mind in regard to his actions based on our actions. God's disappointment at the wickedness of humanity does not mean he was not aware it would occur. In contradiction to open theism, Psalm 139:4 and verse 16 state, "Before a word is on my tongue, you know it completely. O Lord, all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be," end quote. Isaiah 46:11 says, quote, "Calling a bird of prey from the east, the man of my purpose from a far country. Truly I have spoken, truly I will bring it to pass. I have planned it, surely I will do it," end quote. That's God talking there. There are many verses such as these throughout the Bible. How could God predict intricate details in the Old Testament about people, places, and events if he does not know the future? How could God in any manner guarantee our eternal salvation if he does not know what the future holds? How could the hundreds of Old Testament Bible prophecies concerning the coming of the Messiah not come to pass without God controlling the future? See our videos, Supernatural Bible Prophecy concerning Jesus the Jewish Messiah, Part 1 and Part 2, for more on this. But I'm setting a table here before we get into all these prophecies, because this stuff really bears out scientifically when it comes to probability ratios. Okay, after examining 8 different prophecies, they conservatively estimated that the chance of one man fulfilling all 8 prophecies was 1 in 10 to the 17th power. To illustrate how large the number 10 to the 17th is, a figure with 17 zeros after it, Stoner gave this illustration. Imagine covering the entire state of Texas with silver dollars to a level of 2 feet deep. The total number of silver dollars needed to cover the whole state would be 10 to the 17th power. Now, choose just one of those silver dollars, mark it, and drop it from an airplane. Then thoroughly stir all the silver dollars all over the state. When that has been done, blindfold one man, tell him he can travel wherever he wishes in the state of Texas. But sometime he must stop, reach down into the 2 feet of silver dollars and try to pull up that one specific silver dollar that has been marked. Now, the chance of his finding that one silver dollar in the state of Texas will be the chance the prophets had for 8 of their prophecies coming true in any one man in the future. In financial terms, is there anyone who would not invest in a financial venture if the chance of failure were 1 in 10 to the 17th power? This is the kind of sure investment we are offered by God for belief in his Messiah. Ultimately, open theism fails in that it attempts to explain the unexplainable, the relationship between God's foreknowledge and man's free will. Open theism fails in that it rejects God's true omniscience and sovereignty. God must be understood through faith, for, quote, without faith it is impossible to please God, end quote. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6a. Open theism is therefore not scriptural. It is simply another way for finite man to try to understand an infinite God. Open theism should be rejected by followers of Christ. While open theism is an explanation for the relationship between God's foreknowledge and human free will, it is not the biblical explanation at all. Recommended resource, No Other God, a response to open theism by John Frame. If you like our YouTube channel, please subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button and then by also clicking the bell above to get an automatic update whenever we produce another YouTube video for our See Answers TV channel. Please share our videos with your friends and relatives. May God bless you. Only one life will soon be passed. Only what is done for Christ will last. See related videos by tapping or clicking screens.